Brethren and fathers, hear ye what reason I yield now to you. And when some heard that in Hebrew tongue he spake to them, they gave the more silence. And he said, I am a man, a Jew, born at Tarsus of Cilicia, nourished and in this city, beside the feet of Gamaliel, taught by the truth of Father's law, a lover of the law, as also ye all be today. And I pursued this way till to the death, binding and breaking into holds men and women, as the prince of priests yieldeth witnessing to me, and all the greatest of birth, of whom also I took epistles to brethren, and went to Damascus to bring thence men bound into Jerusalem, that they should be pained. And it was done, while I went nigh Damascus at midday, suddenly from heaven a great plenty of light shone about me. And I fell down to the earth, and heard a voice from heaven saying to me, Saul, Saul, what persecutest thou me? It is hard to thee to kick against the prick. And I answered, Who art thou, Lord? And he said to me, I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom thou persecutest. And they that were with me saw but the light, but they heard not the voice of him that spake with me. And I said, Lord, what shall I do? And the Lord said to me, Rise thou, and go to Damascus. There it shall be said to thee of all things which it behoveth thee to do. When I saw not for the clarity of the light, I was led by the hand of the followers, and I came to Damascus. And a man, Ananias, that by the law had witnessing of all Jews dwelling in Damascus, came to me, and stood nigh, and said to me, Saul, brother, behold. And I in the same hour beheld into him, and he said, God of our fathers hath before ordained that thou shouldest know the will of him, and shouldest see the rightful man, and hear the voice of his mouth. For thou shalt be witness to all men of those things that thou hast seen and heard. And now, what dwellest thou? Rise up, and be baptized, and wash away thy sins by the name of him called to help. And it was done to me, as I turned again into Jerusalem, and prayed in the temple, that I was made in ravishing of soul. And I saw him saying to me, He thou, and go out fast of Jerusalem, for they shall not receive thy witnessing of me. And I said, Lord, they know that I was enclosing together in prison, and beating by synagogues them that believed into thee. When the blood of Stephen, thy witness, was shed out, I stood nigh and consented, and kept the clothes of men that slew him. And he said to me, Go thou, for I shall send thee far to nations. And they heard him till this word, and they raised their voice and said, Take away from earth such a man or man, for it is not leaveful that he live. And when they cried, and cast away their clothes, and threw dust in the air, the tribune commanded him to be led into the castles, and to be beaten with scourges, and to be tormented, that he knew for what cause they cried so to him. And when they had bound him with cords, Paul said to a centurion standing nigh to him, Whether it is leaveful to you to scourge a Roman and uncondemned? And when this thing was heard, the centurion went to the tribune, and told to him, and said, What art thou to doing? For this man is a citizen of Rome. And the tribune came nigh, and said to him, Say thou to me, whether thou art a Roman. And he said, Yea. And the tribune answered, I with much sum got this freedom. Paul said, I was born a citizen of Rome. Therefore anon, they that should have tormented him departed away from him. And the tribune dreaded, after that he knew that he was a citizen of Rome, and for he had bound him. But in the day pursuing, he would know more diligently for what cause he were accused of the Jews, and unbound him, and commanded priests and all council to come together. And he brought forth Paul, and set him among them.